So I need y'all's opinion on this whole situation right here about the Detroit rapper who files a lawsuit against Lyft. On one side, I'm like, yes, I'm with her. That's foul. You know what I mean? How could y'all do that? Or if this is something that's allowed, y'all should let the people know. Blah blah blah. Like I'm on her side. Like yeah, file your lawsuit, whatever. On the other side, I'm like, but it's his car. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and I'm like, if I don't want anybody, don't matter what it is, it's my choice because it's my car. So I'm kind of, you know what I mean, torn in this situation. So I want y'all's opinion on this whole situation here. We're going to get to it, all right? So listen, you know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
Every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
You know what? I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough.
I get the money and flip it and make some food.
Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole.
So, again, like I said, man, I felt bad for her and the whole situation. But she is going at Lyft. She's not going at the dude. So I get that part. Maybe they need to do a better job at letting their customers know that this could potentially happen or what. But how y'all feel about this whole situation? I need to hear from y'all.
The real villain here is Lyft. Lyft have the right to fire that driver. Why? He told her the truth. You cannot fit in my car. She could not fit in the car. The car itself was low to the ground. Where is she fitting? And Lyft had the guts to bring her to the Lyft headquarters and this and this and this and that. That girl just wanted to shine. She is a broke rapper. I've never heard any of her song. But mama, you should put that effort you used to record that video and go to the gym. It's not even being a mean person or fat phobia or anything. It's just the truth. Why can't we say the truth without getting backlash? Like, what is going on here? What type of society are we living in now? This is crazy. The real villain here is Lyft. Lyft have the right.
Nah, come on, we're not doing that. We're not even finna sit here and condone that, bro. Like, you don't even know people's situation and stuff like that. Everybody automatically assumes when they see a big person that you could just say, oh, go to the gym. That's the reasoning. You don't know if it's a health problem or what it is. We automatically do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to like, nah, I'm not finna condone that. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, but still, I want to hear from y'all, like, seriously, what y'all think of this situation. And it doesn't matter if you're on his side, cool. Tell me why. If you're on her side, cool. Tell me how you feel about it. But we not finna sit here and just go at her like that. Come on, man. Chill out.
Those mysterious drones over the Northeast. Well, tonight here, a new explanation from the White House. Here's Gio Benitez.
For weeks, those mysterious drone sightings spread panic and fear, closed an airport, and raised concerns about aviation safety. But tonight, the White House saying those drones were authorized by the FAA.
After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons.
At the time, the FAA was saying they were lawful commercial drones. But with the nation asking questions, some even calling to shoot them down, the FAA did not explicitly say that they were research drones. It's unclear when the FAA learned that they were. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt today reading a statement from President Trump, adding some of the drones also belonged to hobbyists and private individuals, but insisting they were not nefarious.
In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
And David, tonight, neither the FAA nor the White House have said what kind of research those drones were being used for. David?
Gio, back on this tonight. Thank you. Those mysterious.
And there's got to be a huge operation because it wasn't just contained in New Jersey. It was all over the place. And then again, nobody's still talking about the orbs. Everybody's just saying drone. What about the plasmoid orbs? The shape-shifting ones, the light, the bright lights and different things. What about that too? Still ain't got an explanation for that one, huh? Still working on it. I get it. They'll get back to us when they figure it out.
At first, when I saw Selena Gomez's crying, I felt bad naturally because I feel like if I was a celebrity, that'd be me as like every time I hear something. I mean, I do that now. I post crying videos of myself all the time, and I'm literally just like, oh my God, there's so much going on in there. But at the same time, like after reflection, I was like, wait, isn't this the same girl who takes a hiatus anytime someone calls her out for how performative she is with like her activism? Like, yeah, she has like associations with different like nonprofits and what have you. Nonprofits, if you even want to call them that. But at the same time, like, she doesn't really speak out loud and proud. Like, I feel like there's many more celebrities who just like move in silence and do more like work for things that they don't even claim to be a part of, directly contributing to. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like The Weeknd, Bella Hadid, even Billie Eilish, which is embarrassing to admit, they have not been self-proclaimed advocates or activists, and they have not had victim complexes, but I've seen them like make waves, you know, whether it's speaking out proud, whether it's showing solidarity through clothes and different momentums like pins and stuff, or posting and using their platform with purpose. So I feel like to get online and act like you have no idea what to do when the world is literally at your fingertips and you have access to as many resources as you want to. Like if someone like me who is like such a smaller scale of a person is able to find ways to make movement and like make impact, I'm sure you could as well. You know what I mean? But the reason I felt bad for her is because I do think there's a certain level of vulnerability that comes with seeing your own people go through oppression. And I don't think it's my place as a non-Mexican person to tell her how she should be feeling during this time. You know what I mean? But also I am aware of the harm she's caused to marginalized persons. So I don't think she should be coddled necessarily for that and for those people being mad at her for choosing who and when is deserving of empathy. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my take. I do think people are harsher on Selena Gomez than others, though. And I don't know why that is. And I do think she's like an emotional person and has a lot going on. I'm just adding in a bunch of tidbits of like things ruminating in my mind. At first, when I saw Selena Gomez.
So I saw the video. I was trying to find the video to show first, but it's basically a video of her crying and addressing the deportation situation that's going on right now. And she was on there and she was crying. So right then and there when I saw it, I was like, yo, they are about to come for her. You know what I mean? And when I was watching the video, I was like, I don't know, because when she first started, she kind of looked up at the screen to make sure she could see herself in it a little bit. It was kind of, I don't know how I felt about that. But at the same time, I was like, this looks like she might have been pressured to do this. You know what I mean? It'd be the pressures of social media, your fans, your fan base, everybody online pressuring you to necessarily say something, do something, speak out. And a lot of times you fall victim to doing that, and it comes out a lot worse than if you'd have just not said something or had a representative do it for you or something like that, released a statement. So that's why I think she's receiving a ton of flack, because some people feel like it wasn't genuine, or it came through forced, or he was doing too much, or it was just overbearing. Something, I don't know.
Geez, I didn't know you couldn't have empathy for someone. That was Selena Gomez's response. After she faced backlash from her post yesterday of her crying, saying that she did all that she could to help her people. Does she have a PR team? Like, did she even consult her PR team on this at all? I mean, it's obvious she didn't, right? This is Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez, you know, who's worth $1 billion. I mean, she must be taking notes from Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively over there. Now she's the #1 search.
Why does everybody like say that? Like, does that bother people when people are worth a lot of money? I don't understand if that rubs some people the wrong way, or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong or something like that. Because people will sometimes be like, they're worth $1 billion. Okay. I mean, I can't do nothing about that, but wish I can get there one day. You know what I mean? I strive to be there, but I can't hold that against somebody.
person on Google. She's facing tons of backlash because she said her people, so your people are the rapists and the murderers who are being deported back to Venezuela. She still has yet to come out and say absolutely anything about the 400,000 missing children. And if she should have done anything yesterday, she should have just kept her mouth shut. And now, apparently, there's a mass unfollowing. There are people boycotting her products. Selena, was it worth it all? Was it worth it all, honestly? Or did you genuinely not know what you were advocating for, or you thought you were advocating for by crying on the internet? I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I believe this was just a political attack against Donald Trump because she just simply doesn't like the man. Geez, I didn't know you couldn't have empathy for...
Jeez, bro. The day and age we live in, man. Like, man, bro, like, y'all hold people that are I just look at everybody like regular human beings like you and me. You know what I mean? Yeah, they became successful, but they just like you and me, fam. And we be holding them to such high standards and regards like they not regular people just like us. And I'm not defending Selena Gomez or anybody else. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's crazy.
So allegedly, the Don Julio Popeyes menu has leaked, and y'all got to see this. Bro, they are dropping a Reposado flavored chicken sandwich. Then they go and do a Reposado flavored 3-piece wing. And then they got a spicy strawberry hibiscus flavored lemonade mocktail, whatever. I don't know if it's going to be alcohol in there. If you ever seen the Cat Williams comedy special, he said, never in the history. Come on, dog. We wildin'. The menu leaked, but tell me what y'all think about this, because this is Reposado flavor wings is crazy. Oh my God, bro. So like,
I feel like there's a Chappelle Show sketch in here somewhere that needs to be made. I feel like Dave Chappelle would have a field day with this, and he would be the perfect person to do so and say all of the things that we are all thinking right now with this whole situation here. This is crazy. This is still crazy to me. I can't believe it.
I saw about 4 videos of people talking about the Don Julio and Popeyes, and one Instagram story of them talking about another one about the Don Julio and Popeyes. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I wanted to hit a comment saying, like, they're gonna do the whole Popeyes chicken massacre of 2019 thing all over again. You're gonna have a bunch of cars just packed outside the restaurant, drive-through just packed, people fighting. You know, in South Carolina, when it happened, people just lost their mind. If you don't know, just look it up. Just look at the whole Popeyes chicken sandwich 2019 thing. And a dude got stabbed over a chicken sandwich, which is just sad. Mostly Boondocks really predicted it with that fried chicken flu. But you're gonna make Negroes drunk and full of spice over some fried chicken. I
forgot about all that stuff that went down during that chicken sandwich era. It was people getting into altercations and things happening over a chicken sandwich. I don't know, but that has set us back as a human species. That set us back at least a million years, couple 100,000 years, maybe centuries. Maybe we say centuries, maybe that, but it set us back nonetheless. It really did.
This up here is the inside of a natural Himalayan pink salt lick cave in Pakistan. So you may be wondering, you hear the conspiracy music, what possibly could I be talking about here? Well, the problem is that this is salt, yes, but they're actually kind of lying to you. It's salt by proxy. And here's another one from Pakistan also. So there's something that is salty that isn't necessarily salt. They're lying to you, telling you this is purely salt. It's not. Let me show you what this really is. That, my friends, are uncooked pork ribs. So you've heard the fact that mountains are really, petrified and fossilized, I guess, giants or whatnot. Well, typically what are inside mountains? Caves, caverns. So when you find these salt licks in caverns, this is the petrified meat. And would it make sense that the outside of the mountain don't look like meat, right? Because it's exposed to all the elements, but the inside, it's like the innards of the giant, right? I know some of you are like, whoa, you done lost your mind, soft-spoken shaman. I'm not the only one talking about this, I don't think. Or maybe if I am, wow, I feel like a super genius, but I don't think I am. Look at that. So take a look online, just go on your favorite search engine and type in natural Himalayan pink salt cave or natural Himalayan salt cave. You'll see the marbling. It looks like marbling. It's pink because it's meat. It's meat. And if these giants were actually humanoid, well, guess what? They say that humans' meat they call it long pork or long pig because it's most like or akin to pork. It's why it's pinkish looking. So you think about it, if these mountains and these caverns are like fossilized giants or whatever, then of course the salt cave would be pinkish because that's what the meat is. It's pink meat. I don't know. You let me get down in the comments and you let me know what you think. And if you want to rub my nose in some doo-doo, go for it. But if you really think about it and you go, hey man, I think you might have something here, get down in the comments and let me know. Make sure you follow. I have a lot to share, but I'm dripping it right now, guys. I'm dripping it a little bit at a time.
I don't need Himalayan salt anymore. Let's talk about why you shouldn't either. Now, I know it's been trending like it's the best thing since coconut oil, but the mining methods are contaminating our once pure salt. A lot of Himalayan salt comes from mines deep in the earth, and the mining methods use heavy machinery, which can stir up a lot of contaminants, including heavy metals like mercury, arsenic, lead, etc. And there have been studies to confirm the presence of heavy metals in Himalayan salt. It's limited, but there's enough to raise concerns. But there's solid evidence that confirms that modern mining methods using heavy machinery can cause Himalayan salt to be contaminated with tiny metals and particles. Blasting and drilling into salt deposits can release dust and rock fragments. This can contain heavy metals and mix with the salt during extraction. Now, it didn't used to be this way. Himalayan salt was once a natural, mineral-rich source that people used for healing, but modern mining has really compromised its quality. Sure, you might be able to find some uncontaminated Himalayan salt, but unless you're testing it, there's no way to know for sure, and that's a gamble I'm not willing to take. And believe me, I fought this for years. My naturopath warned me about this at least 5 years ago. I ignored her advice until multiple sources continued to present the same information. I learned to stop doubting her. In part 2, we'll talk safe salt alternatives. I don't need Himalayan salt anymore.
Bro, at this point, there's literally going to be nothing we can eat. You don't have to sit around and just pretty much chew on your thoughts. That's the only thing you're going to be able to eat is your thoughts. Because everything else seems like it's contaminated with something that's harmful to us. It's crazy.
It is now 89 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight. Any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication of extreme danger and an unmistakable warning.
So the doomsday clock for 2025 has been set to 89 seconds to midnight. Last year it was 90 seconds to midnight, so we lost a second. This is the closest humanity has ever been to midnight since the inception of this clock in the 40s. Now, why are we this close to midnight? Well, nuclear risks, AI advancement, and climate change were cited today. Scientists said that ongoing conflicts over like Ukraine and stuff are heightening nuclear tension, and that rapid development of AI could lead to global destabilization. And then, of course, climate change continues to pose a great threat to humanity. Now, throughout this whole video, you've been asking what the the doomsday clock and who sets the doomsday clock? Well, the doomsday clock is supposed to be a symbol of how close humanity is to a global catastrophe. And who sets the doomsday clock? Well, it's 18 specialists in security and science. So really, really smart people saying that, hey, gotta get your together. So the doomsday.
Thank you, Trump administration, on your update on the drones. Let's talk about the orbs, because that's something different, and you didn't say anything about that as if we didn't notice. Can we get an answer, a reply? Someone let us know what the orbs are. Thanks for the drones, man-made. What are the orbs? Thank you.
It's good to see that a lot of people aren't buying what the information we were given in regards to everything that was flying around in New Jersey and over the rest of the country. Everybody's not buying it. We're still like, what about the drones, though? Matter of fact, a lot of us should have been in that room to say that. what about the orbs? What about the orbs? Lights, different things like that. Something ain't right.
5 people lost their lives because of ramen, and it's not this kind.
A life-ending fatal infection is now growing on ramen noodles, and experts are urging everyone to go to the ER immediately. Citizens were terrified after 5 kids cooked up ramen, and each of them described feeling like something was eating them from the inside out.
Now, some people are speculating this can be fake because of articles coming out claiming that they were never recalled, which in fact they were. In Denmark, Bulldog ramen noodles have been recalled as of in June. Now, let's see what the media has to say about all of this. One person says, I've heard nothing from the prison system. Yes, because the prison system is not using those ramen noodles. They're using these type of ramen noodles. Another person says these noodles were from Temu. That's not a fact at all. The noodles are from the store you can buy them at, and you should not buy them ever again. Another person says boil it and stop putting it in the microwave. I agree, but that's also not the reason why this is all happening, buddy. What are your guys' thoughts on all of this? Did some of you believe it was this ramen noodles right here? Comment what you think below and add me for online entertainment up.
That's that pack of noodles that was going viral on YouTube that people were doing all the challenges and stuff with. Because I remember we had bought some too, and we tried them. But that was a long, long time ago, bro. But I remember that packaging. That packaging stands out. You could get them. I forgot what store we found them in. But yeah, that was that. So is that the one they're talking about there that's recall on? Because I don't see too many people eating those. They were just using them for that challenge at the time. I didn't know people were still continuing to eat them.
It's me having to go to the hospital because ramen recall. My big bag ate them, and I ain't been stopped throwing up yet. Lips all dry. I'm supposed to be at work, but instead I'm at somebody's hospital. You don't eat the noodles. That's the message. Don't eat the noodles. I know they good. Easy snack. Don't eat the noodles.
Like, it gotta be a change or something, because like I've told y'all before, I grew up on noodles. That was definitely some all day, middle of the night, random time. Like, yeah, go get you a pack of noodles, bro. Quick little fill you up before you leave the house, or you just came back inside, or late nights. Yeah, bro, noodles. Come on now. They must have did something recently to them.
So this is Satire Entertainment. That's what an article. The pole, the North Pole is going towards Serbia, so it's going to end up around Russia or something. We got to figure out what. Strange. So I'm asking the question: does that mean Russia will become the new Antarctica? Like, it'll be frozen over. That's going to be the area that's frozen over, right? I mean, it seems like that's what that means. And then Antarctica will obviously be a place that can be inhabited again, if it's not already, whatever, but weird. Very strange.
Is it even possible for us to survive a pole shift? I can't recall them ever saying. I thought we couldn't if it was to happen. I just thought the weather conditions would be too unbearable for us to sustain life. But I can't recall where I heard that at, so I'm not sure if I can validate what I'm saying. But do y'all think we can survive a pole shift?
You're underinsured when it comes to a policy, and there's clearly not going to be enough to make you whole again.
That's true, even though Covarrubias' homeowners policy covers more than $1 million in losses.
Based off your numbers, it's anywhere between, $500 to $1 million short.
He's staring at a second disaster, a financial one.
What are you going to do?
I don't know yet.
devastating. It hurts. I mean,
Traslavina drove us through scarred and scared Altadena neighborhoods.
I ain't gonna lie, asking that question, that would have aggravated me. Him asking me, what do you mean? I don't know what I'd have been so frustrated answering that question, bro. It just happened. I'm still trying to figure things out. It's just like, man, just the whole timing of that question bothered me.
Scared, wondering how they'll ever afford to rebuild.
the cost to rebuild, the materials outpacing the policies. So the idea that people are going to be made whole in many cases is a pipe dream. I don't know how families are going to be able to do it.
For some victims, the loss is both total and totally out of pocket. Nationally, 12% of Americans have no home insurance. With premiums soaring, they drop their coverage and roll the dice. And in a disaster like this, lost big.
The median cost of a home last year rose more than 4.5%. The cost of insuring one rose almost twice as much.
You're underinsured when it comes to the policy.
How is that even allowed? That makes no sense, man. Of course people couldn't afford that. Y'all are just jacking these rates up, and people, we already trying to keep our head above water. I don't it's who the math just ain't mathing.
Pretty incredible images over the weekend as we see nonstop action on immigration crackdowns across the country, a flood of ICE raids leading to more than 1,000 arrests and more than 500 ICE detainers. These are added to the list that we saw over the course of last week. Moments from now, I'll speak with DEA agent in Colorado who was involved in this early morning raid on what they said was a makeshift nightclub party that they pulled people out of, and that there were many members in there of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. But first, let's go to our correspondent, Alexis McAdams, here in New York with the latest. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Martha. Well, this is what Trump said on day one when he was campaigning. He was going to go after what they said is the worst first on the streets, arresting migrants who they say committed a wide range of crimes like drug trafficking, gun charges, and child sex crimes. And those raids are far from over.
I think the president's happy, but we're going to make him a lot happier. Yesterday was just day one, and these raids are going to go out throughout the country. We're not going to let up. We put our foot on the gas, and we're going to go.
This weekend, ICE raids from Chicago to Miami, arrests in Philly, and soon ICE says crackdowns right here in New York City. Texas had teams on the ground finding 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and more than 3,000 rounds of ammo. Sources telling me that a member of the Sinaloa drug cartel out of Mexico was carrying those weapons when he was arrested in El Paso, Texas. Just the other day, ICE agents also found a large bag of cocaine with more than 120 kilos of that drug packed right inside this bag. Investigators say a group of migrants were planning to traffic that right into our country. And out in Colorado, federal agents from the DEA raiding a party in the Denver area. This was part of an ongoing investigation into that Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. The team says 50 migrants were arrested. ICE ran dozens of background checks, and they put them on this bus and took them away. This continues here as the DEA Rocky Mountain team says they busted this party so quickly, Martha, they still had some of those cervezas still left on camera and still left on ICE.
I saw that. Thank you very much, Alexis. So with that, we bring in Jonathan Pullen, who was at the helm of that Denver area raid. He is a special agent in charge of the DEA's Rocky Mountain Field.
Have y'all been seeing these raids, though? Like the one that happened here in Atlanta, I feel like they emptied out every station. It was a whole street, and it probably was at least 100 cop cars out there with their lights on. Like, this has been, I've never seen anything like this before.
Division, and he has led investigations targeting terrorism and drug trafficking. Thank you very much, Special Agent Pullen. It's good to have you with us. You know, give us a sense of how you tracked this makeshift party location down, what was happening in there, and who was apprehended, Agent.
Yeah, thank you, Martha, for having us. So we've been following TDA here in Denver for a number of months. When I first arrived here in Colorado 7 months ago as the new special agent in charge, saying the words TDA around the city of Denver was like saying a 4-letter word in church. No one wanted to talk about it. But then my agents finally and quickly realized that we had a TDA trafficker who moved around 12 kilos of fentanyl across the mountains coming into the city. So that really started us looking at these traffickers and what they were doing and who they were associated with. And then, so for the next several months, we've been able to identify more and more of them, link them to other states, link them to numerous other countries, follow them between these sort of makeshift nightclubs. And that's what you see in the images on the screen now. The culmination was a federal search warrant executed at one of those makeshift nightclubs where we found about 50 people inside on early Sunday morning.
Were there drugs and weapons in there?
Absolutely. So these are dangerous criminals. You've seen from those videos that came out of Aurora a few months ago, these guys are carrying pistols and AK-47. These are serious bad guys. So we showed up in force. There were pistols found inside several of them. We found cocaine, we found crack cocaine, and we also found a drug called 2C, also known as pink cocaine.
Mm-hmm. So you've been on the job for 7 months. What's different now under this leadership than it was even a couple of months ago?
So this has been an ongoing investigation for DEA, but I can tell you what's different now, I think, is that there's a renewed focus on the most violent criminals in our cities and across the nation. And I think that's an important thing. You know, I'm a citizen of the Denver area too, and I want to wake up to a safer city. And I think that's what happened here. We took, over 40 people into custody. A lot of these people have criminal records. And so I think the people in the city of Denver woke up today to a safer city.
So, Mayor Johnston had been very outspoken, the mayor of Denver, about what would happen if there were raids and that the people of his city would protect immigrants who were living in the city from any kind of raids against them. And yet now he's saying, what happened here on camera that we're showing you, he just gave us a statement, didn't happen in Denver, but if it had, he would have been supportive. Do you see a change in the way that leadership in Denver and in Colorado is talking about all of this now?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the politicians are walking some of those statements back. I mean, look, we're here to protect public safety, right? I mean, on this raid, we had DEA out there, as you can see. We had ATF. We had Homeland.
Man, it all depends on who's in office. If the previous administration would be still in office, they would be singing the same tune. Now that this administration's in office, they've changed. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. Them placating up to whoever's in charge. Yeah, so I don't be wanting to hear all of that. It's because of this or it's because of that. No, y'all playing up for whoever's in office, and that's how the game go. And y'all think we don't understand that's how the game go. No, we see it. We see y'all switching up all the time.
Security. We had ICE agents as well as some local partners with us as well, too. So everyone wants a safer neighborhood to live in. So, people can say what they want about, cooperating or not cooperating with ICE, but listen, DEA is conducting drug investigations all across the United States. Sometimes those include illegal immigrants, and so we're going to use all the resources at the DEA has to remove these people from the country if they need to be.
Well, what do you think? I mean, we saw Tren de Aragua in many cases, roaming freely. They've been tracked in 18 states. I think we have a map, if we didn't show it already, of all the states that this group is in. So once they start seeing raids and crackdowns and arrests like we saw last night in your area, what do you think the impact is going to be on their aggressiveness in the U.S.?
Well, I think they're going to probably start to scatter a little bit. I mean, I think that's what we're going to see here. We certainly didn't arrest all of them in Colorado yesterday, but we took quite a few off the streets. But typically when these type of things happen, they move to other locations. So we're going to see them scatter. But I think what people need to know is that, gangs like this are a real threat to our public safety. And so are cartels like the Sinaloa and CJNG cartel. They all sort of cooperate and work together. And these are violent people that we're going to really continue to work hard to get off the streets.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I'm just curious, when I look at this video, some of the people arrested are women that I see handcuffed. Are they members of Tren de Aragua as well that you arrested last night?
So, it's a very diverse group. I'm looking at a list here, Martha, and we had folks, most of them were from Venezuela, but we had El Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Cuba, Romania, and Italy. So, these people are all connected to this gang in one way or the other because it was an invitation-only party, but they're all associated.
Yeah. Not necessarily a party motive most of us want to be invited to. And you guys were not invited, but thank you for showing up anyway. Special
Absolutely.
Agent Jonathan Pullen, always good to see you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the work you do. You put yourselves on the line out there, and we really appreciate what you're doing to make not only Colorado, but the country safer. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Martha.